YouTube, this is Varrick recording another update pickup video. And like I mentioned in the first DVD update, I went to a flea market. I only picked up 4 movies, but I was able to find some other neat stuff that I wanted to share. But first I want to talk about this thing I picked up. A while back I picked up this little lens adapter thing that threads to this thing. It clips onto your camera and it allows me to record widescreen videos and take widescreen pictures. This one has an 8x amplification, so instead of using the cell phone's digital, zoom in, which kind of blurs sometimes the line, I can use this thing and get zoom in images without doing the digital one. So because this is a physical zoom lens. When I bought this one, the thing I didn't like is that it didn't have any sort of padding or anything, so I was afraid it would scratch the camera lens. This one's a lot beefier because it has to support this thing, and this one does have padding. So I think I'm gonna, even though this one makes the cell phone stick out a lot more, I'm gonna use this one because of the padding, and these are still compatible. They thread like that, and I'll be able to improve my picture quality. So I picked that up. It was cheap and it looks pretty good. Okay, onto the stuff that I picked up. I picked up a Vortex 40 disc green drum. I already have the red drum for my Pyragon, and it fits that color scheme because it's red and white. But I haven't seen these pop up a lot at the flea markets. And it holds 40 drums, so I can, if I can get more Vortex discs, I can rock 2 of this ones and actually use my Pyragon, so that's pretty cool. I picked this old-looking G.I. Joe ammo box. I thought it was a lot older because of how beat up that sticker is, and it looks like a vintage design. But the copyright says 1997, so it's not that old. But I still like how it looks like a military ammo box, and I am going to use it as an ammo box for my different Nerf ammo. So it'll serve its original purpose. Just thought it was a lot more old. Picked up this neat little thing. It's a scope for a Busby blaster. I've been looking for a laser dot sight, and I saw this one and it works. I thought it was pretty cool, but something that I figured out later, which I would have figured out if I read the damn thing, is that this is a heat-seeking scope. So what it does is that it does generate a green laser sight, but when it detects a heat signature, it turns red. And I've tried it out and it does work. It does detect anything that generates heat. So I thought that was pretty cool. I got it for 50 cents, and really happy I got that, because it's an interesting gimmick thing. I picked this little blaster up. It attaches like that. You put a dart in here, and you pull these things out, press this little button, and it shoots. I was thinking maybe to add it as an additional blaster option, but I can't figure out how to connect it, because I thought maybe put this thing on the rail, but then it blocks the button to shoot. So that's not gonna work. And rails go here, but I don't know. I can't figure out what I'm gonna use this now that I have it. I can't figure out now what to put it on, because the main thing is the problem with the button. If this button was here, I could just put this on a rail and shoot, but I'll think of something. Picked up this scope for my blasters. It doesn't amplify, but it looks cool. I like how it looks. I think it's from the Modulus line. Also from the Modulus line, I picked up a stock. Not a lot of people like this stock because it's very flimsy because of these 2 thin tubes. But I've seen people reinforce it with PVC, and that adds it gives it a little bit more oomph. But the main reason I picked it up is because it does have magazine storage, and I thought that was pretty cool. Also picked up a 6-round Vortex magazine. I like the longer ones. I think they hold 10. This one only holds... Actually, this one does hold 10. But there's a longer one, I think, that holds 15. But yeah, always cool to find these. Picked up a Varrick Stampede shield. This goes in the tactical rail area, and you can see like that. This is designed for a Stampede, so I don't know if it'll fit most other Nerf blasters because of the design. But I thought it was neat to have a shield. What else did I pick up? Also picked up this, a Pirate Blaster. There's a Busby Pirate Blaster that I want to get, and I have never been able to find. I do have a Pirate Blaster. It's an electronic Pirate of the Caribbean's one, but it's in like transparent green and it projects a little image. But that one has sound. When you activate it, it does make the pow sound. This one is only mechanical. You prime it, and then you pull the trigger, and it does just that. It doesn't have any like blast sounds, but this I think looks a little bit more authentic for a pirate costume that I built, and I needed the gun, so now I have something to holster. Also, picked this thing up. Pretty sure this is Japanese, and I love Japanese culture. I don't see myself using this, but it's a Japanese fan, and it's a big Japanese fan. So I can just... But I'm pretty sure it's Japanese because of the kanji. The kanji look Japanese. They don't look Chinese to me. They might be. If anyone knows how to read kanji, let me know. I'm almost sure it's Japanese, but if anyone knows how to read kanji, please let me know, and let me know if it's Japanese or Chinese. I bought it thinking that it's Japanese because I love Japanese culture, and I tend to collect Japanese-looking things, so pick that up. Also, I have the green Scouter from Dragon Ball Z. I bought it at Toys R Us when they were going out of business, but I found this New York Comic Con red Scout. It's only missing the other part that goes here, but this thing goes here. I need something to support it here, or replace this thing, and it does work. It's over 8,000! So yeah, I love the Scouter from the Cell Saga, the Freezer Saga, and just really cool. I love this thing. I would, if I could rock a Scouter every day, I totally would. And the last thing I picked up is this thing. It's a WWF Ring for my WWF figures. Picked it up relatively cheap, and but this thing's electronic. You turn it on here, and you can hear the crowd cheer. And you press this button over here.
The following contest is scheduled for
There's
one
Jillian,
fall, and it is
I forgot her name. She was a ring
WWF
announcer.
United States Championship.
And you can select which championship they're gonna fight. This ring is part of the Tough Talkers line of figures. There are a couple of figures that have a chip, and you put those here, and it actually detects what wrestler it is, and it spouts catchphrases. I know my buddy Movie John is getting a professional ring, but I've never come across a ring at the flea markets cheap, and this was a lot cheaper, and it's electronic, so I thought I got it for $5, and I was like, for $5, an electronic ring, even though it's not big, it won't fit all of my figures, but at least I'll be able to use it as a display for the best figures that I own. The only thing that I don't know if this happened on the way here, because I couldn't disassemble it, so I don't know if it got damaged on the way here, if it was already like that and I didn't notice. But this ring post is kind of bending, so I put a bunch of super glue to try to keep it in place. I put as much super glue as I possibly could, and it's pretty solid, but it does still look like it's bending. I'm afraid that thing's gonna just rip off one day, so I gotta be careful with this. But yeah, I don't know if that happened on the way home or if it was already like that. But for $5, a nice WWF electronic ring. I thought it was pretty cool and it will work really well for displaying my wrestling figures. So yeah, I think I made out pretty good. I found a lot of really neat Nerf stuff. That ammo box and this thing and the ring are definitely the highlights. It's been a while since I've gone to a flea market and found neat little stuff, and of course the Scouter. The Scouter, I can't go wrong with Dragon Ball Z Scouter. Love it. So yeah, that was the haul for this flea market. Thanks so much, guys, for watching me blab about stuff that I picked up. But until I see you all again, this is Vargas. Once again, thanking you all, and I'll see you later. Bye.